A sovereign citizen barricades himself in a house, fires shots at police officers, and refuses to be arrested. Just another day in the neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Common Sense Academy. I'm your host, Joe Palmetto. We're going to watch a news clip today out of Dayton, Ohio. The details a gentleman who the police arrived at his house to take him into custody, is presumably on a warrant for some other crime or legal infraction. And he proceeds to barricade himself in the house with a couple of children, fire some shots at the police officers. When they finally detain him and take him to court, he claims, you guessed it, sovereign citizenship. So we're going to watch this news clip. I'm going to run through an accompanying news article and then provide some legal commentary on exactly what went down. If you like my content, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. Lets YouTube know you're watching. YouTube lets me know you're watching, and I get a higher ranking courtesy of. I really appreciate it, and it motivates me to make more videos and content. Also, sign up for my email list. You get a free PDF on the history and examination of, it's a free PDF, of the history and examination of the sovereign citizen movement. It's a fun and interesting read. Now, before we watch this video, I know why you all truly came. You came because you're sitting down, you're having your coffee, you're having your tea. Maybe you're having a vodka early in the morning because you're Russian or Ukrainian, and I totally respect that. I love Eastern Europe. But vodka in the morning, it's a little loony, but I respect it because you can handle it. But I myself am having a coffee. So raise your cup in the air. It tastes better when we sip together. Cheers. Let's watch this video.
It's been about 12 hours and a standoff continues after police say a man shot at Dayton officers. Thank you for joining us. I'm Molly Coag. James Brown has the night off. Since around 11 this morning, there's been a huge police and SWAT presence on Smithville Road near Briarwood Avenue and Radio Road. Police believe the gunman has been inside of an apartment with children. News Center 7's Monica Castro joins us live from the scene where she's been for several hours with how things have changed. Monica.
Well, Molly, just in the last couple of minutes, we actually have noticed some police sirens going on in the background. I'm going to step out of the picture here. You can still see that there are police out in this area, although we did see a SWAT vehicle leaving the scene. I'm not sure if that's because of shift change, but relatively throughout the night, it has been pretty quiet, except for just like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, we started hearing those sirens go off. Now, take a look at this video. This is from earlier when it was light out and we had some of our crews here. You can see a number of officers as well as members of SWAT roam the streets surrounding the apartment building the man is holed up in. Police believe there could be 2 to 3 children inside the apartment with the man. Dayton police tweeted out earlier tonight that the man fired at least 2 shots at officers. No one was hurt. Dayton police have not confirmed who the man is, but throughout the day we've heard them calling out for Derek Lewis on their bullhorn. Yeah, we could hear that throughout the evening. Around 6:30, we heard more of that. Earlier tonight, we caught a few people out of their homes trying to see what was going on. Some people had to be evacuated or were told to stay inside their homes for safety.
It's terrible. I just wish something would change. Like, maybe he would give up. Why would he do this? You know, you're going to jail, period. So that it ends quietly with nobody hurt, period. I pray. I really do.
Well, just moments ago, we actually saw a SWAT vehicle driving by back to the scene. Those sirens were still in the distance. We're trying to figure out more about what caused this, a little bit more about that man. But right now, police have told us that they will not be giving us any updates until the standoff is over. Reporting live, Monica Castro, News Center 7.
Mr. Sovereign, why oh why? Must you deny the law and put people in danger? It's not too fun. It's not too cool. The only one who ends up in jail is you. I'm going to read this article out of Dayton, Ohio. I'll put the article in the description if you want to click on it. Bond was set for this gentleman at $1 million when he finally was detained by the police after a 13-hour standoff. He's accused of firing shots at Dayton police officers and taking his girlfriend and 2 small children hostage. Mr. Lewis was arraigned Tuesday for 2 counts of felonious assault on a police officer, 3 counts of kidnapping, and other charges stemming from the January 3rd 13-hour standoff at Briarwood Avenue apartment in Dayton. Cheers. His court date was the continuation of his January 16th arraignment. Just to back up, the incident occurred on January 14th, and he was taken into court on January 16th. In Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas, when Lewis claimed in court he was a sovereign citizen, meaning he believes he is free of any legal constraints, the public defender who was representing him, left. I can imagine this public defender, a short discourse, was just like, I've had it, gets up, walks out of the courtroom. Just, why? That's kind of a funny image in my mind. I'm an attorney, you guys know. Minutes later, when the prosecutor was reading the indictment, Lewis had an outburst. How did this even start, though? This started because my brother let the so-called peace officer in the house without them announcing. They actually walked in the house without announcing. They just walked in, and they did not have their body cameras on that they're supposed to have. Lewis is accused of firing shots at officers while they attempted to take him into custody January 3rd at a Briarwood Avenue apartment. Okay, well, all right, the incident occurred on January 3rd. After firing the shots, Lewis allegedly barricaded himself inside, taking a woman and 2 boys hostage. Police said one of the boys was Lewis's son and both boys were the woman's children. The SWAT standoff that ensued lasted nearly 14 hours. Thank God no one was injured. A quick legal analysis on this. If you listen to his little quote here, he says, how did this even start? This started because my brother let the peace officer in the house without them announcing. Point of fact, the police don't have, so there is, under the 4th Amendment, your protections from unreasonable search and seizure guaranteed by the Constitution does require the police in many situations, but not all, to do what's called knock and announce, meaning they have to knock on the door and announce that they're police officers before they come into a house. That protection doesn't apply everywhere, but it does generally apply within a house. However, if they have a search warrant, they don't necessarily need to do that. But in this particular instance, they most definitely do not need to do it because, as this guy said, the brother let them in the house. So someone who I'm assuming lived, owned at the house, had some sort of authority inside the house, opened the door and voluntarily let the police in. They consented to the police entrance. Okay, consent is almost always, unless the consent came, at the point of a gun, consent is almost always going to allow officers to enter a house, enter a vehicle, search an individual without a warrant, and it's perfectly legal under the 4th Amendment. This is why this guy's not a good sovereign citizen. He should have been shouting, I do not consent, I do not consent. However, the brother let them in. I assume they may have knocked on the door. They might not have announced. They don't have to. They can knock on a door and ask questions. They knock on the door, the brother answers, he sees the police, he lets them in. Okay, that's it. They're in there lawfully. They likely had a warrant, for this individual's arrest, a body warrant, and that's kind of what ended up happening here. So, the sovereign citizen's point is not even, it's not legally valid. But I would love to see video or be present to see that the public defender left. The way they described it in the article is it sounds like he just got up. The guy was like, I'm a sovereign citizen. And the public defender attorney just got up and walked out, which is just a hilarious image in my head. So thank you for tuning in today. This is one of the latest stories on sovereign citizens. I scour the internet. I bring this information to you for fun and for a learning experience. They're still out there. You know, a lot of these people only claim sovereign citizenship because they're doing something illegal, and then they get caught and they say, I'm a sovereign citizen, and that's their way of abrogating and pushing responsibility off of themselves. Thank you for tuning in. If you like my content, subscribe, like, comment, and share. It's a free way to support the show and to get me to keep bringing content to you. This content will always remain free. You can sign up for my email list, get a free PDF of the history and examination of the sovereign citizen movement. I email additional PDFs, updates. You get free stuff if you join, friends, common sensors, and family members. You don't have to, and you can always unsubscribe at any time. Thank you for tuning in. Common Sense Academy out.